Why post-1848? That was when the new church in the High Street was built. The sketch on the cover of Mary Phillips' book, The Clophill Story, is probably the earliest representation of the church. In 1848 a new, larger, church was built on the High Street. In 1849, after the new church on the High Street was finished, the chancel of the old church was taken down and the galleries removed. The next year, the seats were put in order and stained, and other alterations made to render it useful as a chapel for funeral attendances. The burial ground was still in use, and in 1862 a license was obtained for the new burial ground, east of the churchyard, but it was not used until 1896. It was the old custom to toll the bell at the time of death, or soon after, and that before the actual tolling began, the bell sounded 3 times for a man, and twice for a woman. 2 of the bells were moved to the new church, leaving the 3rd bell to be tolled. A vestry meeting sent a strongly worded petition to Lord Lucas, concerning the road to the old church, in 1908. This vestry feels that it has no option but to call his attention to the pressing need of the works being commenced without further delay. The necessity for immediate action is made obvious by the fact that for the purposes of the last funeral, which took place on the 21st of April, friends of the deceased person thought themselves obliged, at their own charges, to effect some repairs, lest the hearse should be brought to a standstill. On the night of August 14, 1956, thieves stripped the lead off the roof of the old church. Fortunately, they were unable to steal the lot. This event marked the beginning of the decay of the old church as, without a waterproof roof, the walls started to crumble. On May 19, 1957, the 3 bells chimed together again from a new position in the new parish church, the first occasion within living memory that the 3 bells had been heard together. On the 16th of March, 1963, the police were called to the ruined church, after the bones of a girl had been found in front of the stone altar, by 2 young boys from Lee Grave, Luton. The bones had been removed from the stone tomb of Jenny Humberston, who was buried in 1770. A police spokesman said, "We believe this may be a case of black magic practice." The national press covered the story, and, so, Clophill Old Church became known nationally as the Haunted Church. Having now gained a reputation for ghosts and black magic, many people visited the church at unsociable hours, and caused varying degrees of nuisance, from disturbing the neighbors to causing damage to the church. On May 8, 1963, a group of students from Shuttleworth College were found dressed in white sheets at the church. Later the rector received a letter from the principal, apologizing for the students' high spirits. In 1969, 10 youths from St Albans and Harpenden were fined £10 for riotous behaviour in the churchyard, but for later acquitted on appeal. The old church was declared redundant in 1972. Tombstones in the old graveyard, around the church, were removed and placed around the perimeter of the site. The ground was filled and levelled. Old St Mary's was acquired by Bedfordshire County Council in 1977. In 2010, the need for a solution at the site was identified in the local parish plan. The Clophill Heritage Trust charity was therefore set up by a group of local volunteers to design and deliver a program of restorative structural works and a sustainable business plan to fund future upkeep. The charity has been operating since, and has raised the money to complete the monument consolidation and create the eco-lodges.